What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for the post-match fan show as Spurs have beaten Qarabag by 3-0, but didn't leave us with some heart and mouth moments. Obviously, Dragoshin gets sent off with 7 minutes gone in the game. Bergvall has to get taken.
Exactly. We have to make it difficult for ourselves.
Bergvall has to get taken off, and like I said, a few heart and mouth moments. They go 1-on-1 and probably should have scored. They get a penalty, blaze it over the bar, but some really good attacking play on display from Tottenham. Getting 3 goals with 10 men against anyone is no mean feat.
Yeah, to come away from a game that you've played 85 plus minutes with 10 men with a clean sheet, 3-0. And to win the game in that fashion, you can't really complain too much. But, I mean, there's no getting away that we definitely got away with a few big chances. A penalty miss, they had a goal ruled out from offside. They missed a couple of sitters as well. So Qarabag will definitely be kicking themselves. They got nothing. I mean, I guess the question is, were we justified in the way we played today just because of the result, or did we get lucky? Was it suicide and we just got away with the fact that Qarabag missed loads of chances and we just got lucky they missed them, and it would have been different? I guess that's for the viewers to decide in that fact. But I think it's a really great outcome. I think in terms of the outcome of the game, and Solanke and Johnson keeping their goal scoring runs, clean sheet on the day with 10 men as well. From that point of view, it couldn't have gone much better. But when you take into the context of the game, the level of chances Qarabag had was, did we just get away with it with the fact that we were playing, continue to play basically the way we play with 10 men?
Nah, come on. We absolutely took them to their cleaners tonight. Spurs with their first win in European football since when? When was our last win in European football?
Our last win in Europe must have been Marseille.
Marseille, when Højbjerg scored in the last minute.
Yeah, because he didn't beat
That feels like a world away. Been through Antonio Conte, Stellini, Mason. How many managers have we had since that last win in Europe?
December 22.
Unbelievable. But look, it's great to get 3 points on the board. I just want to let you know the link is pinned to the live chat if you want to come on and have your say. The link is in the description below if you want to download the best footballing app on the App Store, SofaScore, and also be in it with a chance to win it. We've got competition going on for We Are Tottenham TV t-shirts. You can win one for you and your friend. All you have to do is click that link in the description, put your name and your email address in, and the live draw will be on Monday. And talking about good performances today, there was definitely a good performance in there from Mickey van der Ven, and I was tuning into the pump up a little bit before the game, and I saw someone with a real big man crush on Mr. Mickey van der Ven, and he goes by the name of Bobby K. And here's Bobby K. 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 What are you saying, Bobby? How you doing, brother?
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Guys, what a fantastic day. First off, great to see you. It's been so long since you two have been sitting in that studio after the end of a game. So hope you guys are well, looking sharp, big smiles on your faces. What an absolutely horrible game, but we won. And what a terrible display, but we won. Can't believe we left in the game, but we won. That's all that matters. Where do you want to start off, fellas?
Where do you want to start off, my friend? You tell us where you want to start off.
All I need to say is that the 2 pump-ups I have done, we've won both games. Just saying.
So basically, if you don't come on the next pump-up and we lose, that's it. It's your fault.
Kind of shot myself in the foot there, didn't I? Yeah.
You have to do every pump-up
I'm
now.
changing my name to the Chocolate Charmer.
Wait, so Bobby, just to clarify, you think it was a horrible game and a horrible display?
Well, it's not a horrible display, but at the end of the day, we easily could have lost that game, drew that game. They had potential opportunities. Vicario came up big, massive, especially after the fact that he was facing some heat after last week's game, right? So he comes back, puts in a performance like that. The best part about Vicario's performance was Sonny got off the pitch, gave him the armband. I absolutely love that, to say, you know what, well done. You've led the team today. You've put in a performance today, and he did. They had at least three good chances that I can recall. that they could have potentially put away if they had a finisher. And then, of course, the penalty that still hasn't landed yet.
Bobby, do you commend that way of playing, or do you feel like when you go down to 10 men, you should err maybe on the bit of the side of pragmatism? Do you think we got away with one today, or was it a deserved victory?
I think you got to pick and choose who you do that against, because we did that against Chelsea, and look what happened.
Yeah.
This is the team, obviously, I don't like putting a team down, saying they're lower quality or anything like that, because on any given day, any team can beat any team in the world. But looking at who they are, the league they play in, the quality of players they have, on paper, this should be an easy win for us. So this is the game I would say, if you are going to go for it, a man down, this is the one you go for. It's the first game in the group. Do you really need to go for it? Can you hold off for a draw? That just ain't Big Ange's style now, is it, baby? Guns blazing all the way in. And it's one of those things that other people love it or they hate it. You know me, man. Always happy clapping along at the front of the choo-choo Ange train, man. I love it. Go for it. Guns blazing. If you're going down, go down under fire, man. Definitely go down. But I thought it was great. I really felt for Bergvall, though. That was sad. You know, you saw the poor kid, just the dejection in him when he was coming off in the 8th minute, you know. He knows that these are the games he's got to kind of get. He's going to get these cup games. He's not really going to get his chance in the league, I don't think, just yet, unless all of a sudden he starts impressing. But that was the only disappointing thing. Dragishin, I think he really didn't do himself any favors today or going forward. This was your opportunity against what's considered lesser opposition. This was your moment to shine, man. You got Mickey Van de Ven beside you. All you had to do is let that man go, run up the field, and just hold your line. But he got too far back, too far up, basically, got beat, and then drags the man down. And it was just a silly tackle. Yeah. You know, you had the watch along going. You said it. It's clear red. It was
so,
a clear.
So is it all on Dragishin? Is there anyone else at play here, or you just put it fully on him?
You made the mistake. It's on you. At the end of the day, you can sit here and look at all the lead up and the build up to the mistake and everything, and what ultimately happened. But he allowed that player to be in the position he was in. On the other side of him, he got turned, had to come back and tried to chase him down. He doesn't have the pace to do it, so he dragged him down. So at that point, you know, you could even sit here and say, well, what was the other? How could the mistake have been corrected? Instead of you running at an angle and trying to get the guy, maybe run in a straight line back towards your goalie and cut off his shooting lane. There's 100 things that could have been done differently. Who knows? I'm not an expert at this stuff. All I know is he's the one that got the red card from the ref. Did it cost us the game? No, it don't. No, it didn't. So it's okay. Learn from your mistake. Okay, I'll give him a pat on the back. Say, don't you do it again now, young man. Get your shit together, okay? That's all that matters, man. But what a down a man. We just saw what happened on the weekend when we watched another team. We're not going to say who because I know you guys don't like when I swear on the channel. So we watched another team go down a man and play the most depressing half of football that's ever been played. Tactically, people would argue it was the right thing to do. You had a lead. You're holding on to the league. You're away from home, blah, 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 whatever. As a neutral fan, it was very painful to watch. This was the opposite. This was like a hockey game, man. It's just boom, boom, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what was exciting about it. Anything could have happened at either end of the pitch. There's players that I think could have put in better things, but the one big highlight to me is, and I know me and Kate said it from the beginning of the pump-up show, that we're really, really wanting Johnson to put one in because we think that kid could just use that right now, and he did. And even when he was substituted, they showed him at half, and depending on what feed you're watching, I guess, and he was still smiling on the bench. He's laughing. He's having a good time kind of thing. You could just see the difference from when he walked off the pitch against Coventry. So good for him, man. Really, really happy for the kid.
Yeah, it's a good point as well because, you know, for the beginning part of the season, I mean, from the Arsenal game, after the Arsenal game, a lot of people were questioning that front line that Spurs have with Son, Solanke and Brennan Johnson. Brennan's now scored 3 goals in his last 3 games. Dom Solanke scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. Are we starting to see that front three click now a little bit?
I think that's why he's stuck with them because eventually if you got to stop doing the chopping and changing things and let guys settle and start gelling, and it seems like this is the settled front three now. And I got no problem with it as long as they keep putting the numbers up. That's what we expect out of them. Now the anger and the frustration could be sent to the other side, to our dear captain, who, again, wasn't as impressive as we expect him to be. I called for a brace for him today. You know, I went for a 4-0 scoreline and was hoping he'd get 2 and Solanke and Johnson with the other ones, right? So I'll take it. I got 2 out of the 3 scorers, right? So, right? So my first time in 1,000 bad predictions. But you got to keep letting them work together. You have to keep letting them work together. My concern more is actually which midfield combination is going to work. It was nice to see that I didn't have to rely on Madison to come on. We didn't need that kind of creativity. He went with Kulu instead. And I think Kulu, the fact that he continuously keeps playing him in the middle is what's needed. Why he pushes him out to the side, I have no idea. So, I don't know. I would have preferred to see more come on for Johnson instead of Kulu, and Kulu kind of go into the middle maybe. But with the man down, I guess things had to be changed, and we had to work however we could.
Talk to me about Solanke then. 2 goals in 2 games now for him. I know both tap-ins, so couldn't be easier. But in terms of like his overall play, even with the goal as well, you can just see what he's going to bring to the team, don't you? And I think he exactly, especially when we went down to 10 men, he was really vital today, wasn't he?
But that's the thing we've screamed for. How many times has the ball been played into the box and there's nobody there to tap it in? We've complained about that for the last few seasons. Richie seems to be a little, about a foot short sometimes. There doesn't seem to be another follow-up player, even somebody coming in making the run out of the midfield. So we see that not happening, and we complain about it. So now that he's scoring just tapping goals, I don't care if he uses his butt to tap the goal in. That's your job. Your job is to put the ball in the back of the net. You've done it 2 games in a row, so well done to you.
And Bobby, it's not just the goal scoring from Solanke, the work rate that he shows on that football pitch, running all over the place, dropping deep, winning the ball back, build up play. I mean, he puts in tireless work. You could see by 75 minutes he's just dead on his feet, can't you?
That, and you guys showed the heat map too in the previous show that he just had on, and I'm trying to think. The only place I didn't see him was in our goal box.
Yeah, literally. That was literally the only
honestly,
place.
from the half all the way up, you saw his work rate, and it's almost, should I dare say, Kane-esque, where he used to drop back quite a bit. Now he's not a provider yet, but he's got a bit more pace, so he gets his ass back up there, right at the tip of the line where he's supposed to be. So good, good work from him. He's doing pretty much, it looks like, what's expected out of him from Ange. This is why he brought him in. He had faith from him. He knew this is the kid that's going to fit this system and do the job, push for the money to be spent on him. They did, and he's got to keep doing this, man, and basically justify that high pay, that high transfer fee, sorry.
And another player that I want to talk to you about is Destiny Udogie, because I was loving his performance today. What a player this guy is. And, last 3 games now, after coming back from that injury, you're really starting to see him get back to full fitness. And I feel like the first 45 in Coventry, the Brentford game, and now this game, the performances seem to be getting better and better and better.
I agree, but I was a little bit disappointed with him today because I saw another thing that you guys had brought up earlier, and you said he had missed 1 pass, getting only 97% pass rate. So, being East Indian, of course, and having an Indian father, why Destiny? 97? Okay, so I'd like to see him improve that part of the game. Clearly, there's no reason to miss a pass at all. But like you said, he's been fantastic. He's quietly just doing his work. He gets out there, does the job. I think that the foul against him was nonsense. The penalty, for me personally, I don't think it was a penalty, but it was pretty soft. And he got carded for that, didn't he? Thought he picked up the yellow too, didn't he?
It was Bissouma for the penalty.
Oh, Bissouma that got the penalty. Sorry, my bad. But okay, then in that case, Udogie, well done. I'll even forgive that 1 pass. Yeah, we'll let that slide. It's okay. We're not upset with him. But this is what we expect. We want our youngsters to come in. And right now, we're in a position where we can't change our squad. So the only thing we can do is back these kids that we have and hope the younger players in our squad keep developing and pushing forward and getting stronger and better to support the more senior players in the squad.
So
and he's doing that.
It's unbelievable, Bobby, that we're calling Destiny Udogie a kid, and I know he is by age, but he plays like a seasoned veteran, doesn't he? He's got such a big physique, such a big lad. Yeah. And I don't look at him as a kid, but he actually is.
Well, what is he, 21?
Yeah, exactly.
My kid's 18, man. So I don't look at him like he's a kid, right? Me playing on my son's team, right? So that's when I look at these kids, even like Brennan Johnson, I'm like, it was painful to see the kind of abuse he got. Not the fact that he was just being abused from a football inside, but the personal attacks and the racial attacks and stuff like that. And it's like, that's not really necessary. But unfortunately, it's not nice world we live in, especially with social media. So good for him for shutting it down and just concentrating on his football. For Udogie, like you said, man, he's playing above his years. And if he's going to continue at that rate, what a bonus for us. Now, could you imagine this kid's going to be in his prime by 23, 24? And if we can lock him up and have him for a good 5 years covering that whole side, beautiful. And Archie Gray, look how well he did.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
He played in the midfield, right? He played right back for Leeds as well last season. I believe he won Defender of the Year or something. Somebody was saying.
He won Young Player of the Year, I think.
Young Player of the Year. Okay, so showing his versatility, and this is, I think, also Ange trying to mold his players into kind of various position players, where he can rotate them and use them in different areas, kind of thing, or have them understand what that guy's job is, what the guy beside you's job is, kind of thing, so you can kind of transition over and cover when you need to, right?
So, Bobby, got our Europa League campaign to a winning start? Is it going to be? Is this the first step to glory? Are we winning it?
What are you talking about, man? The quad is on, baby! I don't want to be eliminated. The quad is on. You know that, fellas. You know that. So,
love a bit of Bobby K. Happy clamming.
Happy clapping all the way to the bank, buddy. Even after we lose, I'm still deluded and happy clapping. I know a certain person that hangs out in the Scotland Yard with me absolutely loves it.
Love it, Bobby. Love it, Bobby. Well, just to bring you down a notch on your happy clapping, with Son going off potentially injured today, if it is a significant injury and we have to side with Timo, are you worried about that?
Why you gotta go there? Why, fellas? Why? Why are you trying to rain on the parade, man? I know I wore black to the party, but I'm sorry. Obviously for me, I like pretty much, I think, every other Saints Spurs fan right now. I would call for more instead.
Yeah, so would I.
I would rather have Timo be the, if needed, sub. I don't want to start with him against United, and God forbid we have to rely on this youngster to come in and impact the game at a point where it could potentially already be gone, or we're in a real bad dogfight. I'd rather him start the game, kind of thing. And if we're going to rely on Timo, then have to rely on his experience in situations from previous games and give more of the run out. And let's see what this kid can do.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference, but we'll see what happens. It's all up to the big man.
All right. Bobby, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for the appearance on the pump up as well. And you can't stop joining the pump ups till we lose now. That's it.
You got it, boys. Just, can you talk to the FA and get some games put a little bit later? It's hard to get up sometimes. Huh?
Look, you've put yourself in this situation, Bobby, now. No matter what time it is, you got to be there.
All right, just for you, but I can't say no to you, fellas. You've never said no to me, so you got it, boys.
It's not just for me, Bobby. It's for the whole Tottenham fan base.
Exactly. Taking one for the team.
It's for you. I will be there for you.
Big up, Bobby. Thank you so much, man. We'll see you soon.
Great to see you, fellas. Have a great night. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Big up, Bobby K.
Big up to Bobby K. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right. Next guest is ready, locked, and loaded. He's probably, I would say, the third best bingo player probably on this stream. But let's go to Mr. Brian Daigle. How you doing, Brian?
I'm good. I don't know which one of you to call a non today, so I just
you're in the top three, Brian. That's all you care about.
Mate, I'll take it. I hope you're both well, and everyone in the chat are all good. 3 valuable points, and you know what? A very good performance. I'm delighted.
What do you think about people saying, with 10 men, we still stuck to our principles, but the chances we conceded, we absolutely got away with it because against a better team, it probably turns out very differently.
Yeah, listen, you can look at it. We were so open. And if they did have a finisher, we could have paid the punishment, but they didn't. And I wanted to come on here especially and talk about one man and one. Obviously, we'll talk about others, but let's have a chat about Brennan Johnson, shall we?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Let's have a chat about Brennan Johnson, who like I said, I've come on and defended and stood behind and whatever. What I can't stand is before these 3 games, Brennan can't shoot. Brennan can't do this. Brennan can't do this. What's he good for? He's nothing. He's crap. Blah, blah, blah. Then he scores the winner against Coventry. Oh, it's only Coventry. Well, it was the last minute of a game before penalties. You put it away. Scores to give us the lead against Brentford with a very, very good finish. If people remember, it reminded me very much of Harry Kane against Stoke in the last season at the Lane when we won 4-0.
We were saying a Gareth Bale-esque finish from the San Siro.
You could say that. And then he's gone and scored the first one after going 10-man down. And it's like, well, he should be scoring against these teams. It's like, well, hold on a minute. A minute ago, he can't do nothing. And now he is scoring. It's, well, he should be doing this. It's insane. But I'll tell you one thing I have noticed. And whether this credit goes to Brennan or this credit goes to Ange, all 3 goals have been scored by using what he's best at, more of a counter-attack. They've literally, obviously, Ben, like you said, it's been the first goal against Coventry was obviously Bentancur that ball through on the break. Brentford was picking the ball up high, and the same again today. So it looks like Brennan has either changed something in his game, or Ange just said, right, we need to get you more involved. This is how we're going to do it. And 3 games, 3 goals. What more can this kid do?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he needs to back it up against Man United now as well. I mean, I was one of the ones heavily criticising his performance first 3 or 4 games. I don't think he was good enough, but I think ever since he scores the winner against Coventry, brilliant performance against Brentford, and he does the business again tonight. So this is all we want from him. We want him to perform and we want him to score goals, and he's doing that at the moment. So you can't complain. And whether you think his performances are good or bad, the abuse he got is never warranted, and that should never be coming to light. That's 100% you got to say. But you look at it now. Brennan 3 goals in his last 3 games. Dom Solanke 2 in his last 2. Are you starting to see that front 3 click, or you want to see more evidence still?
No, well, listen. Dominic Solanke, when we first signed him, I'll be honest, I was going absolutely nuts. Like, what the hell is this 65 million for him? Fair play, I was saying that. But then when you realise the style of play that we're going to play and what the kind of striker Ange wants, I was like, okay, makes sense. I get it. Obviously, he got injured. I think his movement and hold-up play against Brentford was great. Today it was exceptional. And even to score that 3rd goal, yes, it was another tap-in, but if you look at it on the replay, when that shot comes in, there's 2 defenders standing right by him. He's got rid of them, and he's put it away. 2 in 2. Yes, again, you can go, oh, it's Brentford, it was a tap-in. He's up and running. He is up and running. So, Brennan Johnson and him, is there a partnership developing? Is Solanke's movement helping Brennan? Is Brennan helping? Who knows? But it certainly looks a lot better than it did a few games ago, doesn't it?
100%.
And it was not just hold-up plays, pressing as well. I got the first goal, didn't it? His pressing, and then he got the chance for where he missed that 1-on-1. It was came from his pressing as well. So that element of his game is really going to be so important, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we saw that was some of the biggest stats about having him, wasn't it? The one of the key things was his work rate off the ball and his willing to start the press and closing down. I've been really impressed, even in the Leicester game where he missed a couple of chances. I've been very, very impressed with his movement off the ball and his work rate for the team. I think them 2 had very good games. And you were talking about destiny and you touched on another one. I think Archie Gray was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant playing at right back. Obviously, we thought, oh, my God, Spence, what's going to happen? And obviously, I think Ange thought this is the way he's going to see it with Gray having the potential to go there. Then going down to 10 men, and we'll get to drag us in. But I think Archie Gray, a lot of people have been saying, oh, he's not good enough. He hasn't got the minutes. It's his first game in European football. Comes up smelling of roses to me.
Yeah, I mean, I hate this narrative when people put on a kid that's 18 years of age, he's not good enough. Like, how can you tell when a player's 18 if he's not good enough? But he definitely done the business on the ball today. I think on the ball in his build-up play, I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I completely agree with you. But look, let's talk about the Bergvall and Dragoshin situation today. First of all, let's start off with Radu. I mean, what's he doing? What is he doing?
Well, first of all, I thought, you know what? 28 seconds against Brentford, I was like, oh, you can't make this stuff up. And then it's like our first game back in Europe, the delay, the weather, everything. I actually literally thought to begin with that Drago had slipped because of the weather and it weren't a foul. You see it, it's a foul. It's lunacy. Rush of blood to the head. You just can't do that. With all the cameras that are on you now and VAR, you just cannot get away with that. You cannot get away with it. And at least Romero's back and he can go there. And it was so good. We all wanted to see the Dragusin Van der Ven partnership. Well, I took a lot from that 7 minutes. Wonderful. What a wonderful...
But Brian, Radu has put in now 2 stinkers now, pretty much, in the last 2 games. Sent off in the 7th minute against Qarabag, and I don't think he filled himself with any glory in the Coventry game.
Nope.
I think we all know he's a good defender, but is there any worries there from you?
I don't know if it's worries. It's like I think if he'd had a run of games, it's the easiest way to tell. His Spurs career has been so stop-start, and it's been one of those Google Maps, hasn't it? We just plop you for Street View. We just plop you in here because someone's injured or someone's suspended. It's hard to gauge and say, right, is he a success? Is he struggling? Is he? Because his whole Spurs career has been stop-start. And I was just trying to, when I was at the pub, is a direct red card in the Europa League? Is it a 2-game or 3-game?
It'll be a 1 game.
I think it's 1 game.
Oh, okay, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, that was a moment of lunacy. I was devastated for Bergvall. Devastated. Yeah. I think if there's one midfielder that we really wanted to see, I mean, Sarr needed to have a good game and get some form back. Bissouma, obviously coming back from injury, and you want minutes ready for him against United. But I was so upset with. But I would have rather seen one of the other 2 go off. I was devastated for Lucas.
Yeah, and you saw it in his face, you know, how dejected he was coming off the pitch. I don't know if you saw it in your stream, but they zoomed into him when he was sitting on the bench and he looked absolutely distraught. But, you know, maybe it'll a bit of character building for Lucas Bergvall. We know he'll be back stronger.
I kind of wish they had, you know, when they do that the day after the on the pit, or what's it called on Tottenham, on their social, the close up or the reaction, the game after, close up or whatever it's called. I hope they do it in the changing room with Drago and Bergvall when they were just alone together, because Bergvall must have been absolutely steaming at him, and rightfully so. But yeah, do you know what? Like I said, was it a concern defensively? You're down to 10 men. They were. I must admit, they were a lot better than I thought they'd be.
Well, Brian, this team, I know everyone laughs at them because they're from Azerbaijan and they're called Qarabag, but they pushed Bayer Leverkusen, a very good Bayer Leverkusen team, all the way last year in the last 16 of the Europa League, and Bayer Leverkusen had to score 2 goals in stoppage time to get through in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I hands up, I wasn't thinking it would be such a competitive game. If they did have a forward, it could have been, or a decent. There's a couple of crosses where they should have finished them off, but thank God they didn't. I was very impressed with them, and two incredible second half saves from Vicario. Incredible saves. I mean, seeing him. And another thing before I let you go, a lot of people should be giving Ange Postecoglou a lot of credit. Because after making 9 changes against Fulham, 8 changes against Coventry, everyone thinking, all right, what lineup's he going to pick out? What's he going to do? How's he going? He did what I think 3-4 changes. Like, he just tweaked, and he put out a very, very strong team and showed his commitment or the way he's seeing this tournament. And fair play to him, especially with a big game like United coming up. So Ange deserves a lot of credit. Johnson deserves a lot of credit. There's a lot of people that come in for a lot of slack that deserve a lot of credit tonight. And Ange Postecoglou is right at the top of the list.
Brian, I want to read some quotes from the Qarabag manager, and I want to get your reaction. He said,
Let's do it.
He said, imagine you are caught in traffic for more than 2.5 hours. It shouldn't have happened. We had to come ourselves. There was no police escort. It had a big impact on our players. As soon as we arrived, we were told in 40 minutes we had to start. We were not as prepared as we should have been, but these things happen. The Qarabag manager putting some of the blame on today's defeat on the terrible travel concerns in London today. What do you think of that?
I mean, listen, London traffic. I mean, obviously there was some really bad news with trains and whatever I heard and whatever. The weather appalling, but this is London, or that is London. I know what the especially around that trying to get to the game. Should have left earlier. Leave earlier. Leave earlier. Didn't you know about London transport and London travel? Listen, it can't be helped.
I think they weren't banking on the A10 to be shut both ways.
Yeah, I mean that is a bit of a major screw up, and I mean I can only imagine how bad the traffic was. If anyone driving is probably going to get home about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Robbie says no police escort down Tottenham High Road. You're putting your life in your own hands.
Yeah, I mean, probably the Qarabag players could probably walk down there, and none of us would have known them. Could have just walking down there, stop off at Chick King, have something to eat, quickly nip in. But yeah, listen,
Brian, they were walking down Tottenham High Road in their all-black tracksuits. The Tottenham fans probably thought they were the Firm or something, or the Qarabag Ultras.
Probably thought they probably thought it was Jasperton Army turning up 2 weeks later. That's what they thought it was. Like, look, the Jasperton Army are finally turned up to have a ruckus. Yeah, it can't be helped, can it? When people are travelling in Europe, I think it's happened to us a couple of times at away games, but the London traffic, especially when weather and train chaos comes, can't be helped, and unfortunate.
So are we saying that the tactic should be from now on all home games, we just have to cancel all trains, and maybe that gives us an advantage?
Who knows? Just cancel everything. Nothing's done. No cars.
I think every away team should walk down Tottenham High Road.
You know what? The intimidating atmosphere has gone from Tottenham, but maybe that's the extra edge we can have in the home games now.
Well, I have to say, and I mean, I don't mean any offence about what I'm about to say about the people in the stadium. It seemed very flat in there tonight. Now, I know it was delayed and the weather was crap, but it seemed very, very flat in there tonight. There's probably more atmosphere outside for when they were walking in than there was inside, because it sounded very, very quiet in there today.
They're all still probably making their way into the game.
I don't know what the capacity attendance was today, but I know there were a hell of a lot of tickets still on for sale before the game.
I don't know I can't remember if I've seen what the official attendance was, but it did. Listen, that's not me having a go at the Spurs fans. It was a late kickoff. The weather was horrible. It was loads of stuff going around the game, but it just did seem very, very flat there tonight.
I'm sorry, Brian. That's going to be the title of your video now.
Oh, yeah, that's all I need.
51,000 apparently. 51,000.
You've just given us the title. After a 3-0 win with 10 men, the fans were flat.
You know what? Your clickbait titles do me so many favours. Why not, brother? Why not?
Just before I let you go, Brian, Sonny went off with an injury today. If it is significant, it means probably Timo comes in against Manchester United. Would you want to see Timo? You prefer to see Mikey Moore? I mean, where's your head with it?
I would like to see Mikey Moore, but I've got a funny feeling, and I hope he doesn't do this, he's played Brennan on the left before. He might put Brennan left and Kulu right. And I really don't want to see that, because Brennan right now is finding his feet and his form at right wing. Let him carry on there, because you can move him out of position. He could not have a good game. It all stirs up again. I would love it to be Mikey Moore. I don't think. I think the only options you are looking at is Mikey Moore or Werner, aren't you? I think there's no other real choices. So yeah, I would rather Moore than Werner. But I really hope I can see him doing the Brennan Johnson left, Kulu right, and I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, I just can't see him moving Kulu out of the middle at the moment with the way he's playing.
That as well, actually, that's a good point. It's a good point. So who knows?
I think it will be Timo, to be honest.
Well, then let's see what that man can do.
Let's see. Well, we'll see you, and we'll speak to you in the build-up of the game, obviously, to get your predictions, hopefully, on Friday. But, Brian, thank you so much for coming on today. Always good when Spurs get 3 points, particularly in our return to Europe. So big up to yourself.
All right. Big up to you all. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Laters.
Big up to Mr. Brian Daigle. And from one legend to the next, we're going to go to Ross. Haven't spoken to Ross in a long time. How you doing, Ross?
I'm doing good, man. I just got home from work. I was able to watch at work, so I
You,
just
you
got
so
in. And I
you so
said
you didn't get stuck in traffic then?
I didn't get stuck in traffic, not here in Seattle, but yeah, I just got home and I was like, oh, they're still on. Let me hop on real quick.
Brilliant.
So, well,
Yeah.
go on.
Do we have London traffic to thank for today's win, Ross?
Maybe so, but we gotta. I guess we gotta concede the early goals, or get red cards. I guess that's what we need to do. The past 2 games we've done this, and look at the results. So maybe we got to make it difficult on ourselves. But yeah, great job. I mean, just to finish. I mean, how many times have we seen this play out before, where we get an early red and then how it goes? I mean, usually it's just I know we're all just like, oh my God, here we go again, but. Great job by them to just stay locked in. I mean, they missed some chances too. We kind of transferred our missing chances onto them, I think. But great job by the guys to really buckle down and see this out and get a clean sheet. That was incredible.
Yeah, obviously Radu puts us in a lot of panic and worry, but it wouldn't be a Tottenham game without panic and worry, would it? So who really stood out for you today?
Oh man, I don't know. I think Archie Gray, I really have to shout out. I mean, that kid was everywhere. I mean, just everywhere, causing havoc. I mean, there was a segment early in the first half where he kind of got down the touchline and dribbled his way out of that, and I was just like, wow. I mean, there's guys who've been playing in the league a long time that can't do that. So he really jumped out. Obviously, Brennan. I mean, love that. 3 goals, 3 games. I mean, let's end the Brennan slander, please. I mean, can we please stop that? I mean, that's enough of that. And, I mean, the kid is doing it. He's performing. He's getting his job done, and we need to just back off of him. And also Solanke. I mean, the Dominator. That's what I'm going to call him.
Come on.
Yeah, he's. I mean, it's great. Isn't it great to have a poaching number 9 again? That's there
Absolutely.
in those positions and can finish those misses off. I mean, that's what I was thinking when I saw him put that in. I'm like, that's what we need. That's what we've been missing. How many times has the ball come off and no one been there, or did a bad finish? And you got to get Lech Sar. You got to throw him in there. That was a great finish there. He was shaky, but he just put his laces through it and got it done. So it was good.
When you analyse that game, Ross, and you analyse the fact that we went down to 10 men, we continued to play the football that, Ange wants, pressing and try and keep possession, all that kind of stuff, end up winning the game 3-0, but the level of chances we created, on another day, or even if we played a bit better opposition, it could have been very different. So how do you analyse it? Was it smart the way we played, or was it just, we got away with one?
I think it's a mix of both. I mean, it's just I think we're starting to get it now. These guys are starting to get it, know the positions. I mean, the issues early this season has been just not putting those chances away. That's been most of the problem. And now we're starting to put them away. Now we're starting to finish those chances. It's a fixable thing. It'd be one thing if, we weren't creating chances at all. That'd be totally different. I mean, still some things need to be cleaned up and worked on, but that you do that as the season goes along.
There's a player I want to talk to you about who actually had the captain's armband on today, the goalkeeper Vicario, who I thought was absolutely brilliant tonight, not only in goal but showing leadership qualities as well. I mean, after the flack that he's come under from that corner against Arsenal, it shows real character and mentality to come back and put in performance like this, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Our Venom Vic, man. I mean, another one, guy, maybe we got to let these guys get a little bit of stick because then they perform. But, but that's the thing. I mean, people are so quick to judge these guys and then they come out and do performances. And I mean, he's been great. I mean, he's had some issues, with Arsenal and then the game, and then the Brentford game where he kind of made a little yips, but it didn't lead to anything. But he just showed us why we signed him, why he's been important for us. Why he's part of that leadership group, because I mean he just gets it done. He's just made some incredible saves, and that sliding tackle there to save that one goal. My God, I mean that was incredible. I've never seen anything like that really.
Actually, that's a good point, Ross, on him being part of the leadership group, and he was given the captain's armband tonight after Sonny went off. And obviously, the last keeper we had, Lloris, was our captain, and he was at Tottenham for over a decade. For you, do you see Vicario doing something similar?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, he's been great since he came to this club, and like he said, he would have signed his name in blood, and he would have walked up here to London and you love that. That's what we need, and we're getting more of those guys now that are playing for the badge, that want to be here. They're not just collecting a paycheck, and so yeah, absolutely, he can definitely be that guy.
Yeah, it was hard to watch, wasn't it, when Lucas Bergvall going off today with, he looked really distraught, to be honest. He goes off after, 10 minutes or so, and they panned to him when he was on the bench. I mean, it's just a hard one for him, but he'll come back stronger, won't he?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not concerned about it. And also something that I remembered and somebody had pointed out, I mean, when Dragusin sent off, who was the guy that came up to him? It was Bergvall.
Bergvall, yeah.
Bergvall came up to him and had some words of encouragement for him, and that was great. And it's just we had to bring a defender on, and somebody had to come off from that midfield. And unfortunately, he's the young guy, he's the inexperienced guy, so he was the guy that was going to get it. And I can understand he wants to play, and he thought he was going to have his start in that, and I can understand being disappointed. But I mean, we've got so many more of these Europa games to go. We're still in both competitions, at least one of them for sure after that draw. But yeah, I mean, no, it's he's going to come back from this. I mean, I remember people were concerned when Vic yelled at him, but I was like, he understands. He's been playing professional ball. He knows what the score is.
It's all about mentality monsters, isn't it? And and that's why I saw loads of people had a problem with him shouting at Vic shouting at Bergvall like that. But if you're in a man's game, that's what you should expect, no matter what your age is, surely, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's it. I mean, Vic is being a leader. Vic's part of the leadership group. He's doing what a leader is supposed to do. Leader's supposed to call you out on something, and he's done that before. I remember somebody, I think last season, I think it was Sessegnon. He kind of got on, but that's his job, and he's an Italian. He's passionate, Hey, so.
Big
so
up
you
to
got
you.
that too.
Big up to you, Ross. Thank you so much for coming on today. Good to speak to you.
Always. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
I think I know the next guy is probably going to give some prop to someone who we probably should have given more prop to so far in this stream.
Yeah, absolutely. The way he slipped on the halfway line to let Vicario bail him out, I think was but I'm not sure about this colour of shirt that he's wearing, but we'll bring him on. We'll bring him on. Ariane, how you doing, brother?
All right, guys. Hey, I'll explain the shirt. I have to explain the shirt very quickly. I was at work. I'm a coach, okay, and that's just what we wear. All right, that's all it was. All right.
Can you not tell them, like, can you not make it a white shirt or a blue shirt or just anything but red?
So here's the thing. Today, the regional director was coming to observe me, so I had to wear the uniform. But normally, I wear the little Spurs tops that you get, like with the quarter zips you get on the Spurs shop. That's what I normally coach in. But I was getting observed today, so I have to wear the uniform.
All right, we'll have to let you off. But how are you feeling after the game today?
Right. I mean, I'm actually. I didn't expect to be as happy, honestly, to beat Qarabag on like a Thursday. I get it's a home game, Europa game, European game, first time in 2 years. It has all that, but like, I'm kind of coming into it. I'm like, I would play the U12s if I could, just to make sure we're good against Man United. But for the game to start as disastrously as it did, with Dragusin doing, it's stupid. I mean, like again, like. You're giving the referee a decision to make there, and it's just I don't know what he's thinking. Just let them go on and score. And obviously, we went on to find out they can't. So just maybe should have let him through on goal. But it was silly from him, and to start that disastrously, going down to 10 men. I really think we showed the other lot what you should do when you're down to 10 men.
Yeah, because that's the point I want to bring up, because we obviously did approach the going down to 10 men very different to how, the other lot did. And we obviously ended up winning 3-0, kept a clean sheet and scored some goals. But we did concede a hefty amount of chances, didn't we? So would you say how we approached it was smart and we got reward for how we did it, or did we get away with one?
We got rewarded for being brave. And here's what I'm going to say. The way we play, and I think kind of the story of this season, has been that we've gotten, for the most part this season actually, I think we've gotten pretty unlucky, given the Leicester game. We were very good and we didn't get a result there, but I think we outplayed Leicester. Against the Newcastle game, I think we were better than Newcastle on the night, and we not only didn't get a point, we didn't get any points. And so the story of the season has actually been that we have the attitude, the brave attitude, the front foot. We keep going, and we're kind of getting punished for, not being clinical enough, and just generally a couple of things that don't go our way, and you can call it bad fortune. But other fans will come and say, that's not bad fortune, we're playing suicide football. But then on the flip side, when we do get a little bit of lucky, now suddenly fortune does exist in football. There is, when we lose, there's a portion of the fan base that wants to say there's no such thing as bad fortune and we're just bad. But then when we get bailed out by some good fortune, suddenly there is good fortune and deserves no credit, right? So I think we need to really give the boys some credit. We were very brave today to play against any side with 10 men, a side that took that Leverkusen team last year to the 97th minute, right, in the second leg of their knockout game, a side that did that to that Leverkusen team. We dispatched 3-0 with 10 men. That is immense. That is immense. We deserve all the credit. Did we concede some chances? Did we get bailed out by Vicario? Did that penalty suck? Yes. All those things are true. But at the end of the day, you can only reward yourself for what you did. And we were fantastic going forward. And we absolutely reap the benefits of playing the Tottenham way.
Yeah, and look, I know you're gagging to speak about Ben Davies right now, so let's get into his performance. I mean, what a ball that was in the build-up to that third goal.
Look, I've been singing his praises enough at this point. I think the most satisfying thing about it is kind of that he is the last man standing from all the teams that I've kind of gone through on this show. So it is fun. And yeah, look, again, he comes on Mr. Reliable. Did he? Yes, does that slip a little bit? We don't need to talk about it too much. It happens. But again, he comes in, has a good reliable performance against Coventry. Completely spared our blushes when Forster did that. So he got his get back. He saved the goalkeeper, and now the goalkeeper saved him. Okay. And so it happens. And again, just comes in reliable. You can always count on him. He's never been a player who's like incredibly weak at any aspect of the game. The same way he's not incredibly strong at any aspect of the game. But because he's so well-rounded in that fact, he's such a utilitarian for the manager. We go down one, he can easily tuck into center back. And he does it, and he does that today. And he just kind of gives us a little bit of security, especially on a game like this where we needed it. And he does well. So it's not that I'm really trying to sing his praises. That I really want him to kind of get his flowers for the servant that he has been to the club, because he's a player that it's really nice to have around the club. It really is. And today he shows his value to the squad. He doesn't have to be a superstar. He doesn't have to be, just this player that can really. He's not He's not really a master of anything, but he's a jack of all trades. And in a game like this, in a situation like this, I don't think we could have asked for anything more from him. And he really delivered today.
Obviously, we won today 3-0, but we've got a big game on Sunday against Manchester United. How do you think today's game, playing, 85 minutes pretty much, nearly 90 minutes with 10 men, Sonny potentially going down with an injury, we have to wait and see how he is. How do you think this game might impact the game on Sunday?
Yeah, that was really the thing I was thinking of, because like I said, in the build-up to this game, I would play the U8s to make sure everybody was fresh for the Man United game. Not only did that not happen, we had to play extra hard because of the 10 men. So it is a little bit of a bummer, because that's not really a situation you want to be in. What I will say is, on the fact that, it might affect some fitness, and, the boys really did have to work hard today. We do have until Sunday instead of Saturday, so there is that aspect of it. Man United also just looked very poor. And even what I think we kind of lost in terms of maybe fitness or sharpness, I think we definitely gained in confidence. Because to dispatch any team, especially a team that's capable of being in Europe, with 10 men for basically 90 minutes is a massive. United couldn't dispatch their fodder side with 11 men. So we were able to do it with 10. And that's a massive testament to what we can do as a football club. So I think we can definitely take confidence in this game. This could be a game that we could have gone in, very comfortable, boring, flat 2-0 win. The players are going through the motions. It doesn't really build any confidence. It doesn't build any momentum. If anything, it just feels like you just took a hit to your sharpness. But now, on the flip side, it was a game we worked very hard. We crunched out a result of 3-0 with 10 men. I think the players can get a lot of motivation from that. So, every cloud is a silver lining.
I just want to talk to you about the forward plays just before we let you go. Brennan Johnson, 3 goals in his last 3 games. After the criticism that he's been taking this season, being forced to come off social media, how much character does that show that he's got within him? And how much of a quality player do you think we have in our hands right now with Brennan?
Look, massive. 3 goals in 3 games in 3 competitions. So talking about versatility, people say, oh, this is his level. He's playing. No, he's played in the Premier League, scored. Played in the Cup, scored. In the Europa League, scored. I mean, this guy has been very consistent now for 3. putting in that performance. We can rely on him. And he's improving constantly. People forget the improvement that he had last season. We saw his final ball, like, in front of our eyes. Like, I don't think people really remember. We saw his final ball improve. We saw it happen. We saw we're seeing now, he's making those runs a little bit smarter. He's getting in that little half space, and he's using his straight line pace, which is superb, and he's getting in the positions to finish. And he could have gotten a second one today as well. So he's getting in position, and we know with Johnson, we've seen his final ball improve. We've seen his finishing improve, and it's only going to keep happening for a player who was never supposed to be our first choice. We've seen that reported multiple times. He was never supposed to be the week in, week out winger. And last season he was put in that position. He was still right in the deep end at a big club like Spurs. 15 goals and assists. This season, he's only going to improve on that number, and he's only shown signs of improvement. Yes, he's had bad games, but everybody has bad games. He's gonna have a great season, and I know it because he's a player who he can get his head down. We saw it. That's why he got on social media, not because he was butthurt or anything. It was just getting in his mental. He put his head on head to the ground, just working, and the results are showing. And I think nothing is gonna just make it sweeter than for him to get that opening goal on Sunday. That's what I want. That's what I want.
And Ariane, you talk about work rate, so we got to talk about Dom Solanke. I mean, what work rate this guy has on that football pitch, getting his second goal in as many games as well. How impressed are you with Dom?
Oh, massive. I mean, again, like a lot of people are like, oh, another tap and goal for Solanke. That's what he's supposed to do. That's his job as an Ange forward. Even like Kyogo Furuhashi at Celtic. I think he averaged like 9 touches a game or something like ridiculous like that, where they're barely really playing. They're supposed to be these positional hold-up play. Like, that's what their job is. Solanke, again, he's done very well to get in the positions he has been. And it's anybody who's played for any amount of time will tell you it's much harder than you realize to kind of be in that spot at the right time. How many times, if anybody has ever played, how many times are you playing striker in a pickup game or whatever it might be, and somebody hits the ball, the keeper spills it, and you're like, I missed it by a little bit. It's a difficult technique. It's a difficult skill, not technique.
Richarlison comes to mind, Ariane.
Right, and he's been there. Richarlison comes to mind. How many times he's just off?
Yeah.
Yeah, like again, it's difficult, especially at the top level, to be finding space like that, just pockets like that. And Solanke, he's been brought in to do exactly that. And again, his work rate, like Ange said, the presser himself, we love to press, and we've gotten a player who does it perfectly. So Solanke, I think he's had a phenomenal start to life at Spurs, and again, I think he's another player to watch. The more he goes into this team, he's going to be, he's just going to be phenomenal. I love it. I think we're seeing a team that looks more and more and more like an Ange Postecoglou team. The profiles are lining up, everything is lining up. And I'm excited, man. Again, I think people really need to stop underestimating. I get that it's kind of funny to compare 10 men against Man City with 10 men against Qarabag, but seriously, to go down to 10 men and to not sit back, look. Last time we were in the Europa League, what happened? We were not even 10 men down. We were just 2 goals up, and we sat back for 90 minutes. Ended up being 120 minutes, and we bottled the competition to a team with their manager in prison. That is what the history of this side has been, unfortunately, of this football team. So we've gone from sitting back at 11 men with a 2-goal lead to on the front foot, constantly going for it with 10 men. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really massive. We can't undermine this.
Big up, Ariane. I'll let you get on your journey home safe and sound, but thank you so much for coming on today. Just maybe next time come on not in a red shirt and we'll be all good.
I'll have a change ready to
go. Sweet. Thanks for coming on,
all
bro.
Right. And as always, come on, you Spurs!
2 hands on the wheel, brother. 2 hands on the wheel.
I don't know if is he driving?
It looks like he was driving, yeah.
I think it's on the other side.
Huh?
Don't think he was driving.
No?
No.
Well, his hands were on the wheel.
He was driving?
I think so. Was he not driving? Was he driving?
Yeah, he was driving.
He was driving. Yeah, definitely 2 hands on the wheel then.
Big up to Ariane. I want to thank all the guests that have come on today. That's right, Phil P. He says never read in the comments, and that is exactly right. But yeah, over and out from us today, midnight. We'll be back with you just in a few hours, guys, with review stream and the pre-match stream for Manchester United as well. But yeah, 3-0 in the Europa League with 10 men. You can't really complain, can you?
No, definitely. Great start to the Europa League campaign. Obviously, going to be without Dragoshin in the next game, so Romero has to play, but is what it is. He has to pay for that red card, but I'm looking forward to Man United on Sunday now. Move
All
on.
right. We'll be there up at Old Trafford. Very much looking forward to it. Big up to all of you. Once again, if you want to join our competition to win 2 We Are Tottenham TV t-shirts for one of you and your friend, join the competition. The link is in the description below. All you have to do is click that link and put in your name and email address to be in it to win it. And the winner will be announced on Monday. It closes 7:45 tomorrow night. And also, please do download the SofaScore app, which is the app we've been using across all of our streams today. Link is in the description below and how you can download that. Just click the link and it will start downloading. But once again, over and out from us today. We'll see you all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.